Welcome to Deja On Demand. I'm Deja Piper, your host. I am a Criminal Minds fanatic and a weirdo teenager with a lot to say. In today's episode, we are going to be diving into a trend that's been weighing pretty heavily on my mind. So take a seat, pull up your big girl panties, and listen up because you're listening to Deja On Demand. Let's get it. Today's topic is all about glow-up. So if you don't know what a glow-up is, it's basically going from looking normal to looking like an Instagram baddie, or going from looking at your best self to your best self. Now, I don't have a problem with you wanting to change yourself for the better. In fact, I encourage changing yourself for the better. I do, however, have a problem with you feeling as if you need to, just because everyone else looks quote unquote better than you. Glow up started just like any other trends, sweet and innocent, but now they have taken over the internet with people changing themselves in a matter of hours. Like any other trend, this has a very negative side effect. Some girls are now telling themselves that they need to glow up, or they wish they glow up. And I know not every girl feels this way, but for us girls that are very susceptible to feeling insecure, aka me, I am she is me, it can be really hard not to compare ourselves to other girls. And we sit there thinking, man, when is my glow up coming? Well, today I am actually going to answer that, so please stay tuned. But before we get into that, there are a couple of things that I really want to talk about. So when it comes to a glow up, there are many factors in each video or each thing. So they change their hair, they change their face, they go and get their eyelashes done, their eyebrows done. It's basically like a pampering day, and they dress outside of what they usually dress. And that's cool or whatever, but suffocating when there are multiple girls changing themselves to look the exact same way. Now, we all know about the perfect body, or what we assume to be the perfect body, which is an hourglass figure, flat tummy, fat butt. You can either have huge boobs or small ones. And that's not very healthy. It's really not, because if you think about it, there are a lot of things wrong with that image and wrong with people trying to get there. And what I mean is, a lot of girls are starving themselves because they want to lose weight. Or if they're skinny, they eat more because they want to gain weight. And they are doing all these exercises like Chloe Ting. Not to hate on Chloe Ting. She is doing amazing and keeping girls in shape. But a lot of girls are doing these workouts that aren't really good for them. And they try to get a body that they don't have. Everyone's body is different. Everyone's body shape is different. And you kind of have to accept that sooner or later. And it's better to do it sooner rather than later, when you've spent all this time trying to change who you are, and you didn't even realize that the reason that these Instagram models look like this is because they go to this building and they get this ab treatment where they put a machine on their abs, and it's like doing 1,000 crunches every second, or they get a butt plumper, butt shots, they get lip filler, they get lipo, they get all these things, and you are trying to do it in a way where you think that it's natural, but it's not. Now, if you want to get lipo and you want to get butt fillers and lip fillers, I have no problem with that. You do you, girlfriend. If you look amazing, you look amazing. Okay? But I will always encourage people to try and love the way they already look, love themselves. And if they still feel like they don't love themselves after that, then fine. You can do things. You can go out and get these surgeries done, but try to love yourself first, because you are stuck with you forever and you may one day regret it. A lot of people are getting their injections and implants out these days because they regret it. And I don't want you to have to regret doing all these things just to look like the girl sitting next to you. So here are a couple of things that I encourage you to do before we get into this whole when you will get your glow up thing. I want you to do like maybe 4 or 5 things. I think it's 4. The first is stop comparing yourselves to other females. I know this is hard, so start slow. Stop comparing yourselves to people who aren't even your age. We look at Kylie Jenner, we look at Gigi Hadid and Bella Hadid, we look at Hailey Bieber, we look at a lot of Instagram models, we look at Nicki Minaj and Cardi B, we look at all these people and we're like, that's what I want, that's who I want to be. And you compare yourselves to them. You're like, well, I don't have that. Well, I don't have this. I don't have that. Sweetheart, they are older than you. They aren't even in your age range. And if you are in the same age range as them, that's what we get into next. Don't compare yourselves to them. And maybe the second step after not comparing yourselves to people who aren't your age should be, don't compare yourselves to people who don't look like you. Like, break it up into segments. If they don't look like you, if they aren't your age, if they aren't within your age range, or if they don't hold the same values as you, or all this stuff, and narrow it down. Like, slowly get rid of the people who make you feel as if you can't be attractive or as if you are not attractive. The second thing I would like you to stop doing is to stop listening to music or watching shows that make you wish you had a certain trait. For girls, it could be a bigger butt or bigger boobs. For guys, it could be having a 6-pack or being this height or being this stature, having this much body mass, looking this type of way. I personally cannot tell you that the things that boys struggle with, because I am not a man or a boy, but to my male listeners out there, feel free to tell me these things, because all of us can benefit from hearing the struggles that men and boys go through. Don't listen to music or watch shows that make you wish you were a certain weight. Like I said with the guys, like being a certain stature or having a 6-pack or being this kind of weight. That should not have a factor into what you feel like you should be. You should be yourself. And if you want to get to a healthy point in your life, and this goes for everyone, if you want to be healthier, if you want to have a healthy lifestyle, it is perfectly okay. Just don't force it on yourself and make you feel like you have to do this just because you want to look like the person next to you. Individuality is very important in today's world because it's barely there. Being unique is very uncommon. So try to be yourself and try not to lose yourself. The third thing, so now that you stopped listening to that type of music or watching those TV shows, unfollow people who make you feel that way. Unfollow people who make you feel like you could never be them and you look at them envious of who they are. That does not mean you unfollow them forever. It just means that you want to follow them for the time being while you get your mental on track, and later on you can follow them again. And the next time you follow them, I want you to know that you are accomplished when you look at them and you don't give a crap about what they look like compared to you. And finally, number 4, let's stop with the self-deprecating jokes because it is not funny. It is beyond horrible. You'll get to a point where you are no longer joking because you say it so much that your brain starts to believe it. And it's so true. And I think we talk about studying and how when you say it out loud, it helps you memorize it better. But when it comes to self-deprecating jokes, we tend to forget that. Or anything negative, we tend to forget that saying those things helps our brain memorize it. And so what we are saying is making our brain feel like it's true, like it's fact, when in fact it's not a fact. Take a shot every time I say fact. Please don't. No, please don't. I do not condone. Unless you're 21 or older. It's very hard for us to realize that what we are saying is imprinting on our brain. And if you say things enough, your brain believes that it's true because you said it so many times that it becomes true to you. And to other people, it's like, well, it's not like that. I was like, yes, it is. And that's how beliefs get started. That's how religion and all that other stuff gets started, because it is said so much and it is taught to people for so long that it's fact and it's true, and everything else is not true. And that's kind of a hard rut to get out of. So I don't expect you to do this in a matter of a week. This is a journey that could happen over years, even like a decade probably, like depending on how slow you start and how you want to work on it. So now we are getting into the portion that you all have been waiting for, and that is, when will you get your glow up? And the answer to that is actually pretty simple, and it's never. I know that's not what you want to hear, but you can't just manifest a better you. No amounts of just doing one thing to help you. You have to do multiple things. There is no 30-day glow up. There is not even a 48-hour glow up, because it never lasts. You would see those people constantly do those type of videos because it doesn't last. And you're constantly chasing this high of wanting to glow up, and you get mad when you don't see any change. Everything you need is right inside of you. And this is not a 30-day free trial to Amazon Prime, okay? This is your life, and like I said, you are stuck with you forever. And you don't see the fact that everything's inside of you right away because society has taught you to bury it. I was watching this YouTube video of a girl talking about this same exact topic, and she said she heard a quote, and this quote has stuck with me. This may not be the exact quote, but it was something along the lines of, do you remember who you were before society told you who you were supposed to be? This really stuck with me because it kind of gave an explanation as to why I felt as if I didn't know who I was. And I kind of questioned, do I even know who I am? Like, should I just be everybody else? And that quote kind of brought it all full circle and showed me that society really puts upon you its beliefs and what it thinks you should be because it wants to make money. Everything is driven by money, and all these brands are telling you, well, you are showing you like these models that look the way you think the perfect body is, and you're like, why? Like, what? Well, I guess I have to work out. Well, I guess I have to do this. Well, I guess I have to do that in order to look perfect, in order for men or women or whoever you choose, your non-binaries, like your asexuals, whoever you choose, you feel like you have to put on a show for them, and that's not true. You don't have to do that. You don't have to look a certain way. Be who you are. And the real question is, how do I unbury my true self? And I can't tell you that because I'm on the same journey. We are in this together, sis, okay? But we are both riding the same wave on the same journey. And I can tell you that being off social media so much has definitely helped. Spending time with family and bonding with my mom has helped. Taking time to just relax in the morning, like do some stretches, read a book, and it just makes you feel so accomplished. Just taking time for yourself, even if it means that the only quiet time you have is when you're in the bathroom and in your room about to go to sleep. Like, go in that bathroom, lay on that floor, and just chill and be yourself and just have a whole fan fiction movie going on in your head, okay? If that's your peace and quiet, that's your peace and quiet. I haven't been on social media like that in almost a month. I did a social media cleanse for like 2-3 weeks, and then I've barely been on social media. The only time I've been on social media is one, to participate in the group chat that I started because I am a part of an activist group for Black, Indigenous people of color, and also to create the Instagram account for this podcast and post pictures. That is the most I have been on Instagram, and it's been a little bit lately, but not as much. And just getting off of, I deleted TikTok, okay? TikTok is toxic, okay? Like, there's too much drama, there's too much going on, there's not enough calmness. And I know barely anybody's gonna listen to this, so I'm gonna let y'all know right now. Download Byte. BYTE. It's like TikTok, but it's so unproblematic, and it's so calming just to go to a certain sector of the app and have people that you can relate to. They have alt, and I love alt. Alt is elite. And they have LGBTQ plus. They have all these different sections that you can go to and just find people like you. This is no way sponsored. I don't have sponsorships yet, but it's just a really calming escape where there's no drama. There's just content and fun and loving content. And this app is just full of people who are so unproblematic. I've also reorganized my phone. So what I did is, on the home page, I have all my productivity apps, nothing but productivity apps. And then I have things in folders in the last 2 rows, just things that will not be able to fit. And the last thing on my phone is my second screen when you swipe to the left. That is where I keep things that are more distracting, like Call of Duty Mobile and Instagram, Wattpad, Snapchat, Reddit, and this game called Colorfill. I really don't have many games. Call of Duty and Colorfill are the only things I have, and I just downloaded Colorfill last night because I just saw the ad and it was making me mad because the person they had doing the demo didn't do it right, and I was just so irritated. And it's obviously a ploy to get you to play the game, but doing all of this in the past month, like, the clarity that I have right now, like, it is absolutely amazing. And to put it into words that you will understand, it is astronomical. It is skyscraping. But seriously, cutting out anything that gives you bad vibes and negative energy is vital to me. And it really makes a difference because you feel as if you can conquer the world sometimes, but also makes you feel as if you can get things done, that you can do all these separate things. Before, I felt like I didn't have enough time in my day to do the things that I want, but now I'm part of an activist group. Now I'm doing this podcast, and then I'm going to have school coming up, and I am able to do a lot of the things that I felt I wasn't able or I didn't have in my schedule because TikTok and Instagram filled in those slots. This podcast is this first season is all about finding yourself and figuring out who you are, who you're going to be, trying to plan for the future. Like, I'm trying to plan for college because I'm going into my junior year of high school and I need to be prepared, because if I'm not prepared, I'm going to freak out. But it's all about finding yourself and finding who you want to be around, the people you surround yourself with, finding your peace, finding I keep saying it, who you are, because that's what this first season of the podcast is about. Finding who you are and who you want to be and how you are going to be this person and what you can do to help form the world that our kids are going to grow up in, because that's a very important aspect of our generation, is that we are about to be the working generation. We are about to be in college doing things, and when we get out of college, or we get out of trade school, or we do whatever you feel like you want to do with your life, I feel as if we have this obligation to make sure that the next generation doesn't suffer because of our foolishness. But those are stories for another time. I would like to say thank you so much for listening to Deja On Demand. And if you love it, if you really love this episode, and even if you didn't, I'd love for you to subscribe, rate, give a review on iTunes or Apple Podcast, Spotify, Google Podcasts, wherever you're listening to this podcast on. And also make sure that your notifications are turned on, because you don't want to miss the next episode, because we are going to get into some pretty deep stuff. And it's going to be a pretty serious episode, but I'll make sure to make it a little bit light, alright? So I'll see you guys next time. Love you. Bye. Mwah.